Have you ever felt exposed to the exhaustion and manipulation of a narcissistic person? Would you like to know how to reverse this dynamic, leaving them feeling insecure and shaken? I fully understand this situation. As Stoic philosophy reveals, true strength lies in our ability to control our emotional reactions, not in trying to control the behavior of others. It's time to understand how to diffuse narcissism with deep Stoic wisdom. Indifference, active indifference, is not just the absence of reaction, but a conscious decision not to allow narcissistic actions to disturb our inner peace. Let's join forces and delve into these 9 key points, because, as Epictetus said, our inability to control the actions of others cannot diminish our power to control our own reactions. Only by achieving clarity of mind and firm resolve can we deal wisely with these complex dynamics. Let's discuss together 9 strategies that can undermine narcissistic power. 1. Indifference. In the face of narcissistic behavior, a fascinating art can be applied: indifference. This attitude, as taught by Stoic philosophy, is not passivity, but an active choice not to allow narcissistic actions to disturb our peace of mind. As taught by Seneca and Epictetus, indifference creates an immovable defense, a mirror that does not reflect the narcissistic need for validation. Unlike their usual emotional reactions, indifference becomes their most powerful weapon. It implies not only inactivity, but a conscious decision not to allow narcissistic actions to disturb our inner peace. It tears down the narcissistic armor with peace of mind, leaving them without the ammunition of our reactions and emotions. With indifference, we take full control of our responses and exert a deep, destabilizing effect on narcissists who usually rely on emotional imbalance to fuel their ego. 2. Setting boundaries. Setting firm boundaries against narcissistic individuals is not only a self-protective measure, but also an important decision in forming the foundation of your psychological health. When you firmly assert what is acceptable and what is not, you build a protective fence against narcissistic manipulation and selfishness. Setting boundaries creates space within you for positive growth and personal development. It is an active step towards recovery from the emotional impact that may have resulted from interacting with the narcissistic. Embracing the power of saying no firmly strengthens the core of your identity, reducing the negative influences that the narcissistic may try to apply. Keep in mind that setting boundaries is about protecting your mental and emotional space. It is an important step to ensuring the health of your mind, maintaining integrity, and building a solid foundation for personal growth. By setting boundaries, you give yourself the right to develop without being affected by the destructive energy of the narcissist. 3. Saying no. In dealing with narcissists, saying no is not just a refusal, but a direct challenge to their dominance and authority. This strategy cuts at the root of narcissistic power, which usually manipulates and controls situations in their favor. Narcissists who are used to dominating and feeling invincible are shaken by this rejection because it contradicts their exclusive view of self-importance. The effect prompts a paradigm shift, forcing narcissists to face reality without egocentric distortions. They may try to downplay the rejection, but at its core, it hurts their core sense of importance. In this case, saying no is not only an act of refusal, but also a courageous move to maintain personal autonomy and integrity. This strategy builds a foundation for individuals interacting with narcissists to maintain control over their lives and promote more balanced relationships. By challenging the narcissist's view of authority, this strategy creates a new dynamic that allows for a healthier and more meaningful relationship. 4. Accepting defeat. Accepting defeat from a narcissistic person not only changes the dynamics of the game, but also opens a window into their psychological complexity. As far as the eye can see, defeat for a narcissistic is like putting together an incomprehensible puzzle. Their dramatic response, as if losing the game is a disaster, reveals their inability to deal with reality. In defeat, their emotional immaturity is revealed, resembling the reaction of a child who loses a board game. Defeat threatens the narcissistic artificially constructed self, and when reality hits, their mask of grandeur falls off. This is not only a strategy to shake them up, but also a revelation of the psychological layers that built up their weakness. Thus, accepting defeat is not just a game, but also a journey into the fragile and unpredictable narcissistic psychology. 5. Reason. In dealing with narcissistic behavior, a very effective strategy is to use logic and facts as the main weapon. Narcissists tend to avoid the realm of the rational and prefer emotional manipulation. By speaking and acting based on reality and logic, we create an environment where the narcissist feels uncomfortable and marginalized. This approach allows us to maintain control over the interaction, exposing them to the truth and concrete reality. When we speak with logical clarity, narcissists find it difficult to twist the situation by gaslighting or engaging in hysteria. This is not just a way of responding to the narcissistic, but also an exercise in personal courage and resilience, in keeping with Stoic teachings that emphasize focusing on what we can control. So, when dealing with narcissists, sticking to logic and reality is not only a way to destabilize them, but also a practice of personal courage and integrity rooted in timeless Stoic wisdom. 6. Public exposure. Exposing a narcissistic person's weaknesses in public is the art of tearing down the curtain of their authority. Imagine the moment when the public spotlight dismantles their perfect image, exploring their hidden dark side. Their reactions, sometimes laughing out loud or trying to evade by lying, can't hide the shame that hits them. Shock, despair, and even a sense of threat can surface as the veil of their imperfections is revealed. This is the stage where control slips from their grasp, exposing hidden facts. In that moment, psychological magic happens as the ego is torn apart, and the audience gets to witness the human side that has been hidden behind a strong narcissistic curtain. 7. Acknowledging authority. In dealing with narcissists, we need to understand that they tend to reject external authority, feeling they can and should control everything. A very effective strategy is to acknowledge and respect authority, a move that differs from the dominant narcissistic approach. By adopting a posture that shows respect for rules and structures, we not only highlight their shortcomings, but also emphasize the importance of balanced behavior and appropriate respect. This is not only a counter-narcissistic strategy, but also an approach to building a healthy and productive environment. By diving into the courage to accept outside authority, we differentiate ourselves from the narcissistic lifestyle inherent in the rejection of boundaries and rules. 8. Challenging superiority. In challenging narcissistic superiority, we break down the illusory construct of their world. When we dare to point out that there is wisdom, success, and excellence beyond the scope of their view, we shake the foundations of their hubris. It's like pulling back the curtain on their distorted show, opening their eyes to the fact that the world doesn't revolve solely around them. Ultimately, the challenge to their superiority is a blow to the heart of their exaggerated imaginations. In exposing a reality that doesn't fit the narcissistic narrative, we not only create discomfort for them, but also carve out an opening for truth and balance. That is the power of breaking free from the shadows of narcissistic hubris. 9. Preserving mental clarity. In the face of narcissistic manipulation, maintaining mental clarity is a powerful weapon. By maintaining faith in your own understanding and perception and trusting your intuition, you are able to counter their attempts at mental reprogramming. Mental clarity not only undermines narcissistic manipulative approaches, but also strengthens your independence and emotional well-being. Remember, clarity of thought and faith in one's own perception are powerful shields against narcissistic manipulation. In navigating the complexities of interacting with narcissistic individuals, strength and direction come from understanding that protecting one's integrity is the top priority. Stay strong and confident on this challenging journey. To conclude, understanding and dealing with narcissists requires deep Stoic wisdom. From indifference to setting boundaries, from resisting to recognizing authority, we have explored 9 effective strategies to undermine their power. Remember, clarity of mind and faith in oneself are powerful weapons against narcissistic manipulation. On this journey, prioritize mental health and personal integrity. Feel free to share your experiences or questions in the comments. Let's build a community of mutual support. If you find value in this content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with others. Together, we can face complexity and realize positive evolution. Thank you, and see you in the next content.